welcome to today's spotlight that we are putting on the brand Nudie Jeans. These spotlight videos are an opportunity to shine the light on some good things or best practices, things that I really want to point out and that I think you should be aware of. So let's dive in, let's have a look. Nudie Jeans out of Sweden, a brand focused very intently on their sustainability story and their journey. You know, right here on the homepage, reuse, pre-loved denim. So they're obviously tapping into the alternative, the Recommerce business model here, which is great. Right away, we can get products from them that are cleaned and repaired, reused. After a 6-month hiatus, they've brought it back. And we'll dive in here because if we go to their sustainability tab, this is what I think is really important. And this is what we're talking about or looking for a brand that is really focused on sustainability and doing some really good work. So first, they've got a great sustainability report. If you click on this, you can get a sense of what their full report looks like, some policies. I love how they have broken this down into materials, production, products, reports, and policies. And under materials, they've got their sustainable materials section, organic, fair trade, and recycled cotton, reused denim, other materials, and all of their certifications. Over here in production, sustainable production, talking about living wages, chemicals, water, climate, transparency, partnerships. On their product side, defining what they mean by the sustainable product, free repairs forever, their repair shops, a repair kit, what they're doing to promote reuse, and how they're dealing with recycling at end of life. So if you really think about this, they're really tackling, like we've talked about, sustainability from start to finish, right? From cradle to grave, and kind of addressing every single stage. If we look at sustainable materials, if you remember from the courses, the biggest impacts are from the furthest back parts of our supply chain, from the very beginnings, right? So materials mean everything. So their priority, their focus on, and look, Nudie Jeans endeavors to take responsibility from the raw material to the end of life of the product. That's our entire value chain. That's that life cycle thinking that we always talk about. Their commitment here for their sustainable products, 98.6 are deemed as sustainable, 1.4% are non-sustainable products. That's a pretty good mix. They've got this great material tool that I think is worth having a look at. It's helpful because if we tap into brands that are doing really good work, then we can actually use the work that they are putting out there and sharing and offering up to the industry. This is great because what they've done here is they have a material tool that helps you sort of measure and decide on what materials are good. They've broken down sustainable fibers into class 1, class 2, class 3. So they are prioritizing recycled cotton, for example, reused jeans, recycled wool, traceable, organic and or fair trade cotton, certified organic jute, Tencel, branded Tencel, lyocell. So remember, Tencel is offered by Lensing, FSC or PEFC certified pulp for their other tree-based fibers, and recycled down. This is sort of what they're calling best in class. Next, your polyesters, your synthetics, but they have to be recycled. Certified wool, certified organic, that's not traceable. Notice the difference there. Certified organic linen, organic hemp, all the way down through here. Even acrylic is in here, but they've put that as recycled to make sure it's recycled. Next best, so we sort of have a platinum, gold, silver, if you will. Certified alpaca, certified yak, certified mohair, so all your animal fibers here, certified organic silk. And then we get down into their non-sustainable fibers. These are things that are definitely deemed as not sustainable. Conventional linen, conventional hemp, acetate. This might be surprising as well, right, as non-sustainable. The HIG does, the Sustainable Apparel Coalition's HIG index tool also rates conventional hemp. It's not so good, or not, it doesn't get the highest score, I should say, but it doesn't also share the whole picture. It's often cradle to gate. So kind of if we look at it from a bigger standpoint, I feel like some would argue that hemp should probably deserve to be up here somewhere, but this is their pick. Virgin polyester is here, non-sustainable, all the virgin synthetics. And what's over here on their do not use list? Feather and down, fur, conventional cotton, fair trade conventional cotton, BCI cotton, things that maybe we might have thought might have been okay. So a really good and interesting tool to have a look at. So that's their materials tool, or their focus on materials over here. So they've got all of their certifications here. You can view their progress card. They talk about which certifications they use. Their GOTS certified products, using the GRS standard for their recycled products, their tree-based fibers, making sure we're eliminating deforestation, other organic certifications, this one owned by Textile Exchange, the Organic 100 Content Standard, GOTS standard, and the USDA. So really good, but going back up here too, I think it's important to have a look at everything here, and climate obviously is being addressed. Chemicals, let's have a look and see what they're doing here on chemicals. Our challenge is to reduce the use of harmful chemicals and to increase the use of better chemicals. And if you remember, we call those better chemicals green chemistry. It's likely that they are aligning with those third-party organizations that we've talked about. So they're in Europe, so their chemical policy is based on the European chemical legislation called REACH. But our restrictions for many listed chemicals go beyond the legal requirements and are in line with best practices in the textile industry. So their RSL, or their restricted substances list, is in accordance with, among others, the requirements of the RSL of the Apparel and Footwear International RSL Management, or AFFIRM it's called. So you can go directly to AFFIRM's site and download an RSL that they have. It's a working group, and all chemicals used in the product of Nudie Jeans products should comply with the manufacturing restricted substances list. Remember, that's an MRSL. An RSL is your product tested as it's finished. Your MRSL is making sure that there are none of those chemicals at any of the stages in the manufacturing side, at any stage, any of the tiers. This was created by the ZDHC, or the Zero Discharge of Hazardous Chemicals Group. So I'll put a spotlight on them. Hopefully you've heard of the ZDHC, a really important organization here in the industry for helping to eliminate hazardous chemicals. And they've got all their chemical policy work in here, which is really great. Some great photos. And then they go into, now we're moving into water, what they're doing for water, but really deep, really committed. On each section, you're getting an opportunity to dive in. They're calculating their emissions. They tell you how they're doing that. What can we consumers do? They give advice to consumers on how to decrease your climate impact while still enjoying jeans. So, things like taking the bike, take the train to go and buy your products. When you don't want your products, give them back at one of our shops. We'll make sure to put them to good use, etc. And they talk about, what I really like is how we made the product calculations. They've got all these great reports and PDFs that they bring about to really keep you informed, highlight all the work they're doing. It's really meaningful and really rich. Definitely really deep. Here's that sustainability report that they put together. So this is a 107-page sustainability report just for 2020. All the categories, and they've got their highlights, their product and use phase, materials, production, communication and collaboration, talking about their workplace, and then financial information as well. But it's a great place to kind of see who they're working with. Fairwear organization. We are ranked as Fairwear Foundation leaders for the 7th year in a row. 98.6% of their products are deemed as sustainable products. We reached a new level of product transparency, showing all tiers of the supply chain. We're going to look at that here in just a second. Awards they've won: the Sag Salim program, supporting a grievance channel and capacity building for cotton farmers in Turkey. And you remember what a grievance mechanism is, right? Is giving an outlet for workers or employees to voice a concern or voice a complaint, not just to the owners of the business or the factory, but so that it can reach outside stakeholders as well, so that the brands can hear about it and the other NGOs can hear about it, and that they can get quick access to help. Emissions mapping, offsetting their emissions, working with Textile Exchange. They placed on the leading category in the Textile Exchange Material Change Index. Certified organic, proud to say that we only work with organic cotton, and that the brand themselves became GOTS certified. So that allowed them to launch their first GOTS certified products. Remember, for something like GOTS, you can purchase GOTS certified cotton, but every player at every stage, in order for you to see that GOTS stamp at the end on the product, every part of your supply chain has to be certified. Those are called scope certifications. And then there has to be a transaction certificate traced all along the way. It's really complex, really robust. It takes a big commitment. So good on them for doing that. Let's have a look here at their traceability, because what is really cool, I think, is if you go, once you shop here and you go, let's say if we go to Selvage Denim, we click on a product, you can go here. If you go to their transparency section, then they've got this great breakdown of transparency on this product. So from raw material to yarn process, fabric process, trims, manufacturer, manufacturing, supplier of product, transportation, and warehouse. Cradle to gate, right? Every single part. And if you open it up, then you get to see what the impacts were. Obviously, this is great, but we get to see who the supplier was and whether it was visited by Nudie Jeans or if it was visited by a third party. Here's their ginner, same one. Here's their yarn impacts. Here's who did the spinning. Spinning was done in Japan. Not visited by Nudie Jeans. So even if they're not able to visit, they tell us that. Fabric processing, the weaving mill, fabric dyeing, etc. They tell us who did it and whether they visited. And in some of them, what I really like is, you can continue to go through here. This is what's great though. You can download audit summaries from their manufacturer. You can download the GOTS certificate. So if you want to have this for yourself and we wanted to see what's included in that audit, well, here's that audit. We get to see what was positive, what needs to be fixed, among the things to improve that we could find. I mean, this is great, really, really transparent work that they're doing here. For that reason, I think Nudie Jeans definitely deserves to have a spotlight put on them. Here's all of their repair, mobile repair stations, their reuse. You get a trade-in discount, etc. I don't know, you can spend a lot of time in here kind of diving around and seeing what they're up to. And you can also spend a lot of time in their sustainability report to really get a sense of what they're up to as well. Here's another last thing here, sustainability governance. You've heard me talk about this in videos. Governance is so important because it's one thing to have sustainability sort of out there as a talking point, or it's a nice shiny object. But if you don't have good governance and you're not really ensuring that those things are baked in, we're not all the way in. I think it's really important that they're talking about that. Their supply chain map here, just so much stuff in here to dive in and look at. Alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals, which is great, right? Super important, but this is how they have done it, kind of focusing on biosphere, society, the economy, and then partnerships for the goals, which is really great. I mean, this is really, really robust and deep and probably a little masterclass on its own. So definitely know about Nudie Jeans. Dive in here, spend some time, have a look. But that's my spotlight for today. Hopefully you appreciate the work that they're doing. Hopefully you'll dive in here and learn more. That's it for now. Nudie Jeans. See you at the next one. Let me give me any notes if there's somebody you want me to spotlight on, good or bad. If we need to point out something that's not so good, we can do that as well, because this is sort of best in class when it comes to sustainability communications, commitments that they have, etc. All right, see you at the next one.